way this works, if my everything was working correctly, I would talk to you. We would kind of build some rapport, vibe a little bit, see where you sit. I got questions to ask you, just like the list I sent you.
Hmm.
Um, kind of seeing who you are, seeing what you're about, seeing so that the people that are watching can get an idea of who you are as an artist, as a musician, etc., etc. So I generally start out by asking you where you are, where you're from, what got you into music.
Well, I am born and raised in Huntsville, Alabama. Um, haven't well, I'm technically originally from Gurley, but I moved away from there when I was like really young, so I
Yeah.
don't really have any memories growing up there. Um, but as far as me getting into music, I mean, literally probably since I could walk, before I could walk, I've been at least singing or tapping my foot to a beat or some some means. But the first time I really kind of got into music, um, I'd say it was when I was 4 years old, and I had to do a piano recital at my school, and I
Nice.
got asked to write a song, which is kind of a big task for a 4 year old to do. Um, but somehow I managed to do it. I mean, it was nothing grand or anything. I mean, you can imagine a 4 year old song, but still, I mean, it's kind of something that's just always been instilled in me.
Right, right. Whew. So you started playing the piano. Did you pick up?
Yeah. So I started out playing piano, because the I used to go to a private Christian school, uh, through elementary school, and every Wednesday they made us take piano classes.
Nice.
But they didn't really necessarily teach us piano. We kind of just learned the major scale and just played songs off of single notes from the scale. So
To
I
be
didn't ever
fair,
really.
that's how you play the piano.
I mean, that is true. But like as far as like we didn't really get taught like how to like make full chords or like anything like that. It was just real simple stuff.
Hmm.
But that's definitely what got my foot in the door of me starting music. And then when I was about 8 years old is when I picked up a guitar, um, and I've kind of been running with it ever since then. Don't play piano at all anymore. I'm just strictly a guitar now, and then singer songwriting. Uh, yeah.
That's awesome. Actually, the piano is my primary instrument. Is what I started on. I learned. I picked it up when I was like 6 or 7, and I did the Suzuki method, where you listen to the song by ear and you play it, and it's repeated. And you got a book in front of you so that you can kind of read the notes if you get stuck, but
Hmm.
they expect you to pick it out by ear and play it. And I switched to jazz when I was probably 10 or 11, and I didn't start picking up a guitar till I was well into college, like 17. So I feel you. The piano is the only one that I really feel confident enough to actually play in front of people, but I have all those guitars back there, and they just look pretty. They're well maintained and sit on the shelf.
Yeah, I hear you, but yeah, no, I've thought about picking picking piano back up again because I really don't want to stay just honed into one instrument. I'd
Hmm.
like to branch out and learn piano. And actually, the first instrument I ever wanted to learn was drums because
Do it.
when I was like 2 or 3 years old, my parents, back when they still made the little first act
Yep.
instruments,
They
they
still
had a
make those.
first.
They
They
still make
do.
them. Yeah.
I haven't seen them. Well, at least they're not at Walmart anymore. At least I haven't seen them.
I mean,
At
like
all.
I bought my kids the first act guitars. This is like a six string acoustic guitar. It's about that big,
Hmm.
and they El Kabonged it, which is which wasn't surprising to me because they were 2 or 3 years old, and I was like, if it happens, it happens. But I don't know if you see the headstock right there, but there's a Squire 3/4 size a Stratocaster 3/4 that I got when my daughter turned 7, and she played it twice, took pictures with it, and then it's been in my office ever since. So
Yeah, that's usually how it goes for a lot of kids. A lot of kids don't really seem to stick with it.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
ninety
but
percent of guitar players play for less than a year,
hmm
and they just keep it moving. The rest
yeah,
of us buy $10,000 worth of guitars, even if we don't, even if we're not good at it. But
that's true. That's true.
uh, it's almost a meme. It's like can play the pentatonic scale, Squire Custom.
Yeah, I used to work at the fret shop, and we had like tons of people come in all the time who literally just bought guitars because they looked pretty,
Hmm.
and like they didn't ever really play. It was like dentists and doctors and just people who had the money.
Hmm.
They buy like the most expensive PRS there was just because it looked pretty, and they just let it hang up in their office.
I'm okay with it as long as it keeps businesses afloat. If it keeps
Yeah,
music in the minds of people, it is what it is. Somebody's got to buy them, right?
yeah.
Those are the guys that clean out their office, and then you end up with a Gibson custom for $500 because nobody really thought about what it was when they sold it.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
It's like, yeah, it's a Gibson custom. Yes, 335, black belt, $4. Be like,
Heck yeah, man! I'll take
right? I'll
it.
take four of them. You got any more? Comes with a hard case. No, it's that's a whole thing when it comes to me. My wife doesn't understand why I spend so much money on the most random stuff, like my $600 keyboard right here that's just slightly out of frame, and then my $50 little tiny keyboard, and then the boom mic, and you got to have the mic and a backup mic, and you got to have an SM58 just to make sure that you can cover all the soundscape,
Oh yeah,
and it just spirals out of control, and they're just like, I didn't think this was gonna happen.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm still pretty young, but I've already spent a good amount of money on gear in the short amount of time I've been playing.
Hmm.
So,
She's gonna walk in one day. I'm gonna have like a Tascam 48 channel mixer on my key on my desk, and she's gonna ask for a divorce. I'm sure. So if you see me looking for an apartment to rent, that's what happened.
right on, man. Uh,
Awesome. So, what are your musical influences?
Man, that's honestly a really hard question for me to answer because I've never really put myself in a box of
Hmm.
like sticking to one genre of music or listening to one genre of music. I like to pick and pull from a lot of different genres and kind of just mash them all together.
Hmm.
But a lot of my big influences uh, would be like, all your big Southern rock artists like Leonard Skinner,
Oh yeah.
Allman Brothers, then your roots rock like CCR, Doobie Brothers, and a lot of folk Americana like Bob Dylan, Townes Van Zandt, all that good stuff.
Nice.
Um, but then I also pull from a lot of the grunge stuff too from the '90s, like
I've
Alice in
listened to that.
Chains, Stone Temple Pilots. Like I said, man, I'm kind of all over the place. I like
I
to
mean,
just.
you mentioned '90s grunge without saying Nirvana, so I'm really wondering if you're true to the cause. Just saying.
I like Nirvana. I love Nirvana. Nirvana was actually probably not the first band that I started. First band I ever really got into was Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Yeah.
which they're not grunge by any means. But no, when I first like started getting serious about guitar, I mean, I'm sure a lot of other guitar players can attest to this. I started out just learning a bunch of Nirvana songs
Oh
because
yeah, super
they're
simple.
it's really simple, easy to play. So a lot of my electric guitar foundation is from Nirvana, but I just don't find myself listening to them as much as I used to anymore.
I want to say that I really started learning how to play the electric, and I started on the bass and then picked up the electric as my skills grew a little bit. But I definitely started with like Audio Slave, where it's super heavy,
Oh yeah,
but also super simple to really just get into it. And if you're not trying to play any of the solos or anything, you could pretty much do 90% of it with just a little bit of an overdrive and a wah. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah. No, I love Audio Slave too, man. Chris Cornell, as far as vocalist, Chris Cornell is up there as one of my favorites. Which,
I try. I try to sing it. I'm just slightly too low to really do the top notes. but when I try, I sound really bad. So
Yeah, I don't even dare to try because I have a naturally pretty deep voice, so
right.
I can't get
I
up there
didn't
like
think that
that.
he had that upper register until I really tried to like genuinely sing the last remaining light. Like when that last little bridge part, I was like, I can't do this. So I tried. My kids came in. They're like, no, don't do that. It's like, what do you
Yeah,
know? You're 8.
exactly, man. But no, yeah. Like I said, I pick and pull from everything. I like a lot of soul, like
Mm-hmm.
60, 70 soul artists too. Um, I like to I like to get a little bluesy sometimes. I
Nice,
mean,
nice.
I'm all over the place. I'm like scatterbrained. So,
So what do you do for fun?
what do I do for fun? Well, honestly, uh, really all I do is play music. I'm usually always just locked up in my room writing songs or learning new guitar riffs or whatever. But if I'm not really doing that, I like to be outdoors. Be out in nature, go hiking, uh, just hang out with my buddies, watch football, whatever.
Well, you're from
Kind of just
Alabama.
yeah. So War Eagle, I ain't no Roll Tide.
Nah, nah, you can't be both. You got to
I
pick
said
a side.
no, that's what I said. I'm War Eagle. I ain't Roll Tide.
Okay, I was gonna say, don't be saying them both.
Uh-uh.
Folks be after us both. Be like, nah, you can't let that slide, man.
Yeah, no, I'll probably get a lot of flack for saying War Eagle, but
Nah, it's fine.
whatever.
I'm
I
right
don't
there
care.
with you. I'm right there with you. I've laid in that bed and I've dealt with. My brother actually went to the University of Alabama, so I was automatically an Auburn fan because I just disagreed with everything he did. So that's where I came from, and that was back in '98 when I made that choice, and I've stuck with it ever since, good or bad.
Yeah, well, it's been instilled in me since birth because my grandpa he took a couple classes at Auburn
Hmm.
um back in like the '60s or whenever he was in college, and absolutely fell in love with Auburn, and like he loved them so much that when my dad was born, he was going to name him Auburn,
Do it.
but my grandma wouldn't let him. Just called him crazy. So instead of naming him Auburn, they named him Pat Sullivan or Patrick after Pat Sullivan, who won the Heisman Trophy the year my
Nice,
dad was born.
nice,
So it runs deep in my family.
awesome. So tell me about the most recent concert you attended.
The most recent concert I attended,
Yeah,
that would have been Billy Strings.
really
Oh my, yes. I went both nights when he came to the Orion, and by far the best concerts I've been to so
nice.
far. I mean, Billy is in an absolute league of his own when it comes to live performances. I mean, the fact that it's literally just a bluegrass band up on stage, but they break into like psychedelic stuff, like grungy stuff. I mean, like literally when the first night I was there, they broke into a Mother Love Bone song, and I was like, "What the heck, dude? Y'all are supposed to be a bluegrass band. What? This don't make sense." But yeah, no, freaking unreal, man. I've been listening to him a lot recently, ever since I went to his concert. I've been trying to draw inspiration from him, but that man is an absolute shredder on guitar, and I don't even try to. I don't even really try to mimic him.
Awesome sauce. All right. If you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be?
That's a tough question, honestly. Um, I would absolutely love to play right here in town, play at the Orion. Ever since it's opened up, that's been a dream of mine, just because it's such an awesome venue and it's right here in my
Hmm.
hometown.
Hmm.
But if I had to pick anywhere, it probably would be Red Rocks out in Colorado. I
Nice.
mean, it's just my absolute favorite because I mean, you're literally in a freaking canyon,
That place has
kind of.
come up quite a few times when I asked that question, for sure.
But I mean, I understand why. I mean, it's unlike any other venue really in the world. I mean, it's crazy. I'd like to at least just visit there, even if I don't ever get to play there. I'd love to just visit it sometime. Um,
Awesome.
but yeah,
All right. So Tell me about your track. What inspired
Uh,
you to write it? What does it mean to you? How do you feel when you hear it?
all right, so this track I actually wrote uh, for my mom's birthday a couple of years ago.
Nice.
Um, and it's about me being a troubled son at times, not being the best son I could be, going through all the obstacles in my life. Um, but even though I slip up and do all these horrible things, it makes my mom upset, whatever, I somehow always am able to find myself right back where I need to be. Um, and so for me, what the song means to me is really just how much I appreciated my mom and how patient and graceful she's been with me throughout the years. Because there was a stretch of time where I was really wild and was really not even coming around talking to my parents at all or
So you
anything.
were a teenager.
Yes, pretty much.
All right.
but uh, but but yeah, that's kind of the gist of what it means and what it's about. And I get really emotional every single time I play it. I get choked up because I mean it's probably the most personal song I've ever wrote. And especially when my mom's sitting in the crowd watching me play it, I get choked up every single time.
All right. Well, let's give this thing a listen. Let's see what happens.
Black smoke rising all around. Bright lights light the way everywhere I go. But my actions burn a hole in the ground of this place I hold so near. But in the distance I can hear the whisper of the wind singing in my ear, and the voice of my mama asking me when I'll come around. She was one to always worry. It's the sun you're seeing, but got no sight. And you've been lost again too many times. It'll be alright. Just close your eyes, bow your head. Don't forget these words I've always said. Baby, what's been taking so long for you to listen to the sound that brings you home? Do I know who I am? Just another useless friend. 'Cause I can't seem to understand things made up by man. Smoke and mirrors filled full of peace and love I can enjoy. But I can hear you saying to me, you're still my boy. Yeah, and close your eyes, bow your head. Don't forget these words I've always said. Oh, baby, what's been taking so long for you to listen to the sound that brings you home? Yeah, close your eyes, bow your head. Don't forget these words I've always said. Baby, what's been taking so long for you to listen to the sound that brings you home?
My family members walking into my room.
Oh, sauce. I feel like this is a very very personal song, but I mean it's weird that it has the fiddle in the back, but nothing else. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're making love to your girl lady, and then there's some dude behind you. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
But it's actually not a fiddle. It's actually slide guitar.
Okay, gotcha. I'm always I'm not 100% on those, but it's just well, that's almost worse. Somebody sitting in a chair next to you while you're making love to you.
I know.
I mean, it sounds dope. Don't get it twisted. I was just like, I was expecting other instruments to come in, even on like a low key background type thing.
Mhm.
So like, I was kind of anticipating like even just a little doon 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 and some tip 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 tip. But yeah, I really do like the track. I like the way it sounds. It is a very intimate piece. Um,
Thank you.
so like as part of the artist spotlight thing, I do offer local musicians an opportunity to have an intimate encounter. And it's a smaller venue. It's usually 100 people or so. You can come in, it's 2.5, 3 hours of time that you can allocate any way you want. Talking, playing songs, interacting with people. And it's an opportunity for you to get to know your up and coming fans. Now, if you're already signed, that's something that you'd have to probably put to your manager or whatever.
Mhm.
But it is something that I offer for the people that I interview, especially the local folks. Um, it is a rental fee that's guaranteed, and you get the remainder of the door. That's how that works.
Okay.
So, like, it's 100 people. If you set your own ticket price, if you want to charge everybody $10 to come in, then after the 200 or 300 or whatever the door costs, you keep the rest. So it's an opportunity for you to gain fans, introduce yourself. It's all going to be videotaped and it'll be hosted the same place this video will be hosted as well.
Okay.
So,
That's awesome.
right, it's something that I'm doing in leading up to my event just to make sure that the people that are being interviewed are actually getting something out of it as well, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Totally. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome.
well, let me if you don't have any problems with your management or whatever, just shoot me an email. We'll get it taken care of for you. I don't know when we're going to start scheduling them. We had originally started, and then things got delayed because paperwork. It's always
Uh,
fun. But
yeah.
anyway, but anyways, do you have any current projects you want to tell people about?
I'm not working on anything at the moment. Kind of in a standstill because I just released my album a couple months ago.
That would be something that you'd want to talk about.
Well, but yeah, definitely. But yeah, I released the song that this album's off of. I released back in September. And actually hit number 82 on the country charts on iTunes.
Nice.
Um, I don't really think I'm a country artist.
Oh,
That's just kind of
you're definitely a country artist right now.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely pull from country, but like I said, I mean, I don't really think I'm a country artist. And a lot of people that have listened to it, they don't really know what to put it in. That's like the whole reason my the owner of the label, he was like, man, he was like, I really don't even know what to put you in. I'm just gonna put you in country because that's what you sound closest to.
I mean, it definitely tracks a lot better than it would in like a pop sense or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it has that emotional outreach that you expect in country music.
Mhm.
So even though you as an artist may not classify yourself as a country artist, the song is definitely squarely in that genre, I would say. It is very I am feeling emotional because of a love relationship of some sort, which,
Mhm.
you know, sorry to say this. It'd be more country if you were talking about how your dog died and your wife left you, but
Yeah.
just slightly more country. All right, so any last shout outs you have? Anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank my label, BAM Records, for signing me and helping me put together this song and my whole album. Um, I mean, you can go find it on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you stream music. Name of the album's Identity. Just look up Samuel Penn, Penn.
Send me your socials. I'll have it all linked on the bottom of this video if you get them over to me.
Okay, yeah, cool. I would definitely will do that. But other than that, man, I think that's about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. It's been a pleasure
Yeah,
chatting with you.
yeah.
Let's
Thanks
let's
for having me.
let's keep up.
Yes, sir, for sure.
All right, take it easy.
All right, you too.